These are our last set of examples of roots of real numbers. These are the problems we're going to do. And so if you're looking for a particular one, you can scroll through. The first one is the square root of 676, x to the fourth, y to the sixth. So as in our previous videos, I'm going to take the square root of 676 and square root of x to the fourth and square root of x to the sixth, or y to the sixth. So the square root of 676 is 26. I can write this as square root of x squared to the square power if you want to do that. What I'd like to do is instead is write it in rational form. So I'm going to write this as x to the fourth, and rational form would be 1 to the 1/2, y to the sixth to the 1/2. So what we're going to get is 26. When you multiply those two, you get x squared. When you multiply these two, you get y cubed. Since this is an odd number right here, we have to do the absolute value of that. Okay, if it's even, we're fine because we're starting off with even. For example, in the second one we're going to do here, our root is odd, so it's not necessarily to do the absolute value signs. So the fifth root of -32 is just -2. And then we have x to the fifth to the 1/5 and y to the 10th to the 1/5, because the 1/5 here is your root. So that's just going to be x, because that's just equals 1. This equals 2, y squared. We didn't have to do an absolute value on this one, because that's actually to the first power, because our root was odd. Okay, next one. Basically, I'm just taking the square root of all this, so we can do the negative later. The square root of 144 is 12. Then we have m to the 8th to the 1/2. And we have n to the 6th to the 1/2. Because our root is 1/2. So this first one's going to give us m to the 4th. This one's going to give us n cubed. Since we're starting off with the root is even, and we've got an odd power here, we have to make this an absolute value. So we're going to put this as the absolute value. So the final answer would be -12 m to the 4th, absolute value of n cubed. Okay, we're starting off with cube here. So basically, this is going to be -3. This is going to be x cubed, y to the 4th. And basically, I'm taking x to the 9th, y to the 12th, to the 1/3. And you just multiply those two, and you get x cubed, y to the 4th. Okay, and our last set is this one. It's a square root, so we're going to keep our negative here. So square root of 49 is just 7. And then we have a to the 10th to the 1/2. That equals 5. Since that's an odd number, and we started off with the even power, we're going to write this as a, sorry, I put an x, a to the 5th, but absolute value. And the same thing's going to happen with the 6, so because we're going to have b to the 6th to the 1/2. That's also going to be absolute value because it's an odd number. So the best way to write this is -7 times the absolute value of a to the 5th, b cubed. Okay, and the last one we have is this one. The cube root of 343 is 7. Since this is odd, we don't even have to worry about the absolute value. Whoops. So we have d to the 6 to the 1/3. So that's going to be d squared. And that's all. Thank you. Have a nice day.